Well, hey everyone, Mac here, along with my dear friends Judy, Cheryl, Tim, and Dolphin. We're so happy that you can join us for this July 19th, 2025 Global Sunwriter Day. Hey, first of all, we want to thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today. For those of you that are watching in this recording, what we're going to do here is we're basically going to tell you a little bit about why we love Sunwriter. We're going to chat for just a second about the summer season, the fire element. But then for the most part, what we're going to be doing is sharing with you guys a recap, kind of an overview and testimonies about some of the incredible brand new products that were just released in convention this last month. So with that kind of setup, Judy, would you mind starting us off and sharing why Sunrider Day is important to you?
Well, goodness, Sunriders Day is so important to me because actually July marks my 38th year with Sunrider. And I
Wow.
must say, they let us sign up when we were 10 then. No, only kidding. But why did I stay? Well, first of all, results. When you eat Sunrider, you feel better, you look better, and you enjoy life more. And so that has continued to be the case. And after 38 years, am I tired of it? Or no, that's the exciting thing. Every morning, I'm excited to have my Cali in a mug, my quinary, everything that goes in it for me. And something I particularly have enjoyed is the people it draws. I really think it's a high quality of person who finds something good and wants to share it with others. And I really enjoy the camaraderie, the friends, the old friends that came into Sunrider, and the new friends I've made along the way. And I really appreciate that Dr. Chen creates things he wants for his family. So when something new comes out or it's something I'm surprised or I didn't petition for, I'm excited because I know it's tried and tested on not only his family, but sometimes as IBOs, we get to test it out. So it's live testing at Sunrider, and I love that. So I'm excited for the new products, and I'm excited for next year and the years to come.
Excellent. Cheryl, would you mind taking us through your thoughts?
I sure would. I love your uh, sense of humor there, Judy. Um, for me, Sunrider, it's been life-changing for me and my family. After 37 years with Sunrider, I'm more excited about it now than ever. The products are outstanding, and you see that just in your well-being and vitality every day. And being at convention recently and listening to the Chen family and their commitment to Sunrider, not just for today or tomorrow, but for generations to come. And I know for all of us, we have family that we love and care about, and to know that this is going to be around for them is going to be fabulous. So I'm happy to be here on Sunrider Day, and I'm happy to edify Sunrider, and I will forever.
Fantastic. Tim.
Happy Sunrider Day, everyone. Great job, you two. And looking forward to the other two coming right after me. I love Sunrider. Can't put it any less than that. I've been eating Sunrider food since 1987. You do the math. It's 38 years. Anyway, first things first is, again, I was studying the Chinese five element theory before I discovered Sunrider, and it kind of found me through work and connections. And the philosophy of regeneration just makes sense as I learned how the body regenerates itself. And that always excited me. But when I found these foods that are custom made for us, and after going to convention, not the latest one, but seeing all the facilities and the quality that we get put into our food, that it's just amazing. I mean, they have higher standards than the JPL laboratory, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, a pretty incredible place. And as Duval are going to share, is the family aspect of it. I mean, I didn't expect to have a company with this kind of integrity, and it made me feel at home right away, and to say, geez, and all the people that when you go to convention, for example, or you're communicating with anyone in Sunrider, it's like you're dealing with your brother or sister who from a loving family. That's always been exciting for me. So the caring aspect of it is just an absolute bonus, but it's a catalyst to a wonderful, rock solid philosophy, recognizing and understanding and accepting that our bodies really are built by creation itself to regenerate themselves. And that is going to keep me here forever. And the quality of the people, that's bottom line for me.
Thanks, Tim. Dolphin.
Hi, everyone. Happy Sunrider Day. For me, every day is Sunrider Day, and it has been in my life for since 1989, so 36 years. And yeah, I can't imagine being without it. There's been times over the few years where, we haven't had certain products, and nothing like not having it to make you realize how much you appreciate it even more. So why do I stay with Sunrider? Because there's nothing like it on the planet. The foods are just, you feel it. It just becomes, it's regeneration. So we don't act our age, we don't feel our age, and whether it's ourselves, people that we love, it's just knowing that we have a solution for health and wellness. And then absolutely the family, the friendship. Like Tim said, I never expected to have the deep connections and friendships these that I have received and experienced with this company. It's just been amazing to have just best friends that I get to work with. And going to work every day is such a joy and pleasure. And to know that Sunrider has our backs, like Cheryl said, the legacy, the stability. There's lots of companies that come and go. And, as a business person, I want to know that the effort that I'm putting into this is going to last and that is stable. So I get my check every month, and I know that this company is going to be around for many decades to come. And that gives me such peace of mind to know that not only is my health taken care of, but also the stability of my financial health. So yeah, I'm just so thrilled to always be with our core group here and the greater Sunrider family. And just want to thank you all for tuning in.
Fantastic. Listening to all of you guys, I feel like a newcomer to Sunrider because it's only been 30 years for me. So, I'm kind of a novice compared to you guys. And it is true. I discovered Sunrider 30 years ago. I was introduced, the very first product for me was Sunbreeze oil, and still one of my top 5 favorite Sunrider products for today. Thinking back 30 years ago, at that point for me, it was all about the products and the foods. Okay. I didn't become involved in the business until about 10 years later. And when I did, it was in a pretty big way because my father was involved and he had passed away, which allowed me an opportunity at the Chins. Gosh, I bless them every day for allowing me this opportunity to come in and be part of this team. And when I did, it was certainly about the products, but then it became more about leadership and development of our global business teams and all of that. And, again, that was 20 years ago. And today, it's certainly a combination of both for me, don't get me wrong, but it's become more about, at this point, how many people can we help? Okay. And just getting this message out there to people and sharing with others, because I still believe Sunrider is one of the best kept secrets in the world. Okay. And I know we've said that before. And, like you guys said, I mean, the community, the people, the friendships, the travel, the health. I know as a 69-year-old male, I could not be doing Kempo karate the way that I do if it wasn't for the quality of these foods and what they do for my body. I think, well, Tim, you mentioned the word integrity, which I think is great. For me, I mean, my background before Sunrider was in chemical and pharmaceutical manufacturing, which was all about GMP manufacturing, the highest standards there are out there. And that equates to trust, safety, and efficacy of these foods for me because Sunrider chooses to operate under these higher standards of GMP that they don't even need to do. I just want to finish real quick. I had an email and then a call with one of our Australian downline this last week, and she was calling because she had just turned 82 years old. And what she was saying is she said, Mac, I just wanted to reach out to you. You've known me for years, but I just got to share with you. I love Sunrider because it's all about longevity. And I would not be here today at 82 years old, being able to get around the way I do. And she's amazing, by the way, without the benefit of these foods. So again, those are the kind of things I love to hear from people. Okay. So anyway, that's what that's all about. Moving along, folks. 5-Element Cycle to Wellness. That's our website. That's our Facebook page, I should say. And it is a private group. And we invite you all, please join us on 5-Element Cycle to Wellness. Why we do all this? Boy, I don't mean to speak for the group, but I will. Okay. We've talked so many times. We all have seen the tremendous synergy, and Tim, you referenced it just a second ago, between the Sunrider Foods, traditional Chinese medicine, and 5-Element theory. And for me personally, I mean, I just love how each season has its own characteristics and aspects, yet they all influence each other through both control and promotion. What's more interesting to me, and I've heard Dr. Chin talk about this many times in the last few years, is that these incredible foods not only feed the key organs and systems of our body, but they actually feed the meridians of our body. And the meridians of our body is the energy pathway, which allows our inner energy, our chi, if you will, which is a term that most people are familiar with today, to flow through our body properly. That's how these foods really keep us in balance and keep the energy flowing through us the way that they do. So again, I just love the fact that, well, we can all come together first of all and chat about, the seasons. And again, I don't want to go into a lot about summer right now. Matter of fact, very, very quickly, I just want to share that summertime in traditional Chinese medicine and 5-Element theory is all about fire in the endocrine system. The key organs are the heart and the small intestines. The emotions are joy and sorrow. The sound is laughter, and the taste is bitter. And there's obviously much more to this that we'll be talking about over these next few weeks in some of our other calls. But again, folks, this connects so closely to Sunrider and the philosophy of regeneration that it just makes perfect sense to me, and I think it does to all of us. So with that said, why should somebody new that's listening to this call consider Sunrider? Well, everything we got through talking about for sure, but let's state a couple of things for you. First of all, Sunrider's been around for over 42 years. That's stability, folks, extremely stable in this particular industry. Sunrider operates in over 50 countries around the world, which is one of my favorite parts, allowing me, certainly, and all of us as we choose to develop organizations in countries outside of our home country. Heck, I love traveling to Australia and to Europe and to Hungary and all the other places I get to go to around the world because Sunrider's provided me with this opportunity. Coming back to that GMP production I was talking about, Sunrider produces everything in-house. Folks, that's so unusual. Most companies will hand a recipe to a third party and say, make my food. Not Sunrider, okay? Everything is done in-house, research, development, and manufacturing of over 400 of what, in my opinion, are the most incredible health and wellness products in the world. Everything from whole food nutrition, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports fitness, green household. We've got it all natural, all whole food based. This is an incredible company. With that said, folks, let's turn to convention. Convention this year for Sunrider, which Cheryl and Finn, I'm so envious of you guys. You had a chance to be there and we didn't, only because we couldn't, but we all had our own reasons and why we couldn't be there, but I'm so happy you guys were. And I know you've shared on a couple of the Sunrider calls already, so we don't want to go into a big thing about convention, but I know it was awesome. Sure wish I would have been there, and I'm still suffering from fear of missing out, the FOMO thing. So okay, but it was an incredible convention, and we are going to talk about some of the new products that came out of convention. So as we always do, I just want to remind everybody that none of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. So let's jump into it. Judy, before we turn to Cheryl and Finn to get into the depth, share with us a little bit about collagen.
Oh, Matt, that's a big one for me because, all of us have heard about it and you listen to all those infomercials and different things because everyone wants to look better. However, I couldn't jump on the bandwagon because of the source of it. How do I know if those are happy cows? How do I know if those cows are clean? How do I know? And sometimes it's a combination of several animals. Do they all meet together? What's the deal? So I don't know. I was very reserved. I wasn't sure. And then when we had the samples last year at the Grand Convention in California, I thought, wow, Dr. Chen thinks it's good, so I better look into this. So I started looking at things and realized, my goodness, it affects everything. It's not just about the hair, skin, and nails. It's about everything. Almost every tissue, organ, everything's affected. It even has to do with your heart valves staying opening and shutting like they should. So I'm so excited to learn more about it, learn how ours is different, where it comes from. And the exciting thing is it's being released today on Sunrider Day. And we can get it for sure Monday. So anyway, Finn, please, and Cheryl, let us know more about ours.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a pleasure to get to sample, of course, at convention, and we got to purchase while we were there. And the only problem is that everything was released in Korea, so all the labels are Korean, so I can't actually read off the label. But as we know, everything that Dr. Chen creates, he does with extreme detail, and it's always based on the philosophy of regeneration. So we know that there's no way that there's any harmful or unclean aspects to anything that he creates, including collagen. So Sunrider predominantly only uses plants. So this is a bit of a shift for Sunrider in that he did have to utilize an animal product for collagen, and he chose to use marine, so he chose to use fish. And we also know with Dr. Chen that in all of his purchasing of anything, plants, whatever it is, he actually instructs the farmers on how to grow and harvest. Like he sets the standards for how the product, the raw ingredients are dealt with. So again, we know that it's the environment is going to be very clean from where he extracts or gets his raw materials. The collagen peptide complex, another interesting thing about Dr. Chen, of course, is again that attention to detail, is it wasn't good enough for him just to create one, because like Judy said, collagen has so many purposes. So he created two. So I'm going to talk about the peptide complex, and this one is geared more to the bones, the joints, things like that. And so this complex is a combination of the marine collagen with turmeric. And again, turmeric is something that's become very popular, more well known in the Western society as it being very anti-inflammatory. The curcumin is the active ingredient that creates a lot of anti-inflammatory responses. So it's very, very yellow. I will tell you, like, yeah, it's gonna it's gonna stain your fingers and my mouth. It's just like I brush my teeth and it's very yellow. But again, you just know the concentration of this, and so you just put a little scoop. Cheryl just gave me an awesome tip because I have been finding that because of the turmeric is very heavy. It wasn't dissolving as nicely as the other one. But she says just put it in some warm Cali, and I'm like,
Good idea.
duh.
Oh.
Yeah. So there you go. That's another great reason why, we have such an amazing team is you learn new things, how different people do different things, but it tastes great. And just, yeah, so concentrated. So only been using it for about a couple of weeks. So, I definitely been noticing a difference, but I'm really looking forward to just, giving it, I like to give at least 30 days to really see, okay, what am I noticing? But Cheryl, what are you noticing?
Well, that was awesome, Finn. And by the way, we had so much fun on that trip, and we can't wait for the next one. So you guys have to be there with us.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to talk about the collagen, that's the biotin, which is for the skin. And, I love that Dr. Chen thinks the way he does. And that, like Finn was saying, that one collagen isn't good enough. You have to have them specific for whatever you're targeting. And this one targets our nails, our hair, our skin. And I've been using both of them for, I guess, the 2 weeks too, actually since convention. And I have a couple stories, so I thought I'd share those. One is when we were in Korea or Japan, Finn was getting a little bit warm looking at me because I always had the long sleeves on. And she was like, "Why do you always wear long sleeves? You should put something cool on." Because it was 34 degrees there. And I said, "Oh no, you should see my arms, the veins in my arms." And she said, "Let me see." So I showed her and she said, "Oh, wow." And I said, "Yeah." And I don't, I'm uncomfortable, even though I know Tim thinks they're great. Thank you, Tim. Finn, so we go looking for the arm things to cover them up, right? Well, anyway, I started twice a day using both of them. So I have each one at night and each one in the morning. And then I was putting on my sweater one morning and I looked and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, my arms are different." And I quickly sent a message to Finn. I said, "Finn, I don't know if this is imagination or what it is." And I said, I showed it to Tim and he said, "Oh my goodness, what's different?" And I said, "Well, the only thing different is I'm doing these collagens." And so anyway, I don't know if that's what it is, but my skin on my arms has tightened up so that my veins aren't popping out. So anyways, I'm really excited about that. And then, you guys, I always love doing skin stuff and I've had such great um, feedback on my skin, but now I'm getting even more feedback. And I think it's the biotin complex and one of the products we're going to talk about later. So that's my story on collagen.
Excellent. Thank you both. Wonderful. Hey, I just had a quick question for you, Cheryl and Finn. Finn, you mentioned the color and the flavor of the peptide collagen. On the biotin, Cheryl, is that flavorless? What does it look like?
Yeah,
Can you
it's
describe
very
it a little bit?
neutral. I just put them both in my Cali, and actually, I love the taste in my Cali. So I put them together, and but it's very neutral. You wouldn't even really have a flavor to it.
Fabulous. So I guess these are things you could add to even your morning Sunrider shake or however you wanted to consume them, right?
Yeah,
Love
Absolutely.
it. Love it.
and they say hot or cold, doesn't
Right
matter.
on.
Oh,
Cool. Um, Time to move on. Any other last comments on collagen, ladies? All good?
Hmm?
The next product, the one on the left, our new powdered electrosport. Tim, would you mind giving us a little lead in on electrolytes?
Sure, just a little bit of a lead. It's kind of a lot of people hear about electrolytes out there all the time, but it's kind of nice to know what they are. I'm just going to put down my own little definition that I popped out here. It's a non-metallic electric conductor in which current is carried by the movement of ions. And ions are little packets of energy. For those who didn't know what an ion is, and any of the ions, such as sodium or calcium, for example, that in a biological fluid regulate or affect most metabolic processes, such as flow of nutrients into and waste products out of cells. So really, really important for getting nutrition in and the toxic waste after the cell firing. So, geez, I think I want to lead it to the girls again to let us know about the new powder electrosport because we have a wonderful product already, but this is just taking it to another level.
Great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Electrosport is, I know for, some of us, it's the old Electrosport in the liquid vials. We take it okay, I'll speak for myself. I take it grudgingly. It doesn't taste great. Straight up. It tastes very metallic and salty, but you know, there's something there because it's so concentrated. And the bottom line is that if you're active at all, if it's hot and you're sweating, it's so important to replace those minerals. Electrolytes are the minerals that are so essential. But what makes Sunrider's electrolytes very different, not only the concentration and the fact that it's in its whole food form, is again the way that Dr. Chen formulates it so that it's not just about hydrating, I have an old quote from him from a convention many, many years ago, and he says that Electrosport is much more than just an electrolyte refresher. It's one element that helps fight free radicals in the body that damage cells and organs. So what it does is it actually binds to other nutrients that we mix it with. So whether we mix it with Vitafruit or Fortune Delight or whatever, it's going to bind and increase the nutrition that we absorb into our body that allows our body to help fight free radicals. Now, we have a brand new Electrosport. It's a powder, not a liquid. It is flavored like lemon lime. It dissolves super easily. There's no clumping. It just dissolves super easy. And it's delicious. So it's like, woohoo! Now, I'm going to speak to my Canadian friends for a moment and say that we will not get our Electrosport in a powder form very soon because we have to use up all the vials first. So I'm going to encourage all us Canadians to drink our Electrosport, drink those vials because it's good for us. And the faster we get get it into our bodies and get it out of the warehouse, the sooner we'll get the new powdered Electrosport. So whether we get it in liquid or powder, it is an amazing product. So yeah, that's my story.
Excellent.
I just want to add, I absolutely love what Electrosport does. And I actually don't mind the vials. And I always put it in my Share Happy drink with my Fortune and other things. So you don't even really notice it. So I'll be sure to be buying lots of those vials so we can get rid of it. But I'm loving the powder because it's so easy to travel with. Because carrying those vials all the time was extra weight, right? And the taste of it. And the other day I was working out in the yard. It was like 34 degrees here. Can you imagine in BC, 34? That's not Fahrenheit, by the way.
No.
That's centigrade. Anyway, and I got so hot. And then I thought, oh my gosh. And I ran in and I got one of the new Electrosport because I have some. And I made it and I drank it. And oh my gosh, it just cooled me down. My redness went out of my face and I was energized again. And so it was just so fast and easy to do. So I love it. Can't wait.
Fantastic. Thanks you guys very much. And I've been fortunate enough to get my order in just the other day too, and have tried it and feel the same way. Like I used to use the vial product and always because and I would put it into something that kind of mask, if you will, the taste and so forth. But for me, there were so many important things with it. Working out the way I do martial arts, etc. Quite often I would come home and I would get cramps. Okay. So the electrolyte replacement is so important to me. Tim, you mentioned it earlier on about the waste removal and delivering of nutrients to the cells. This stuff helps so much with that. And the other thing too, we always talk about the pH of the body, wanting an alkaline pH within our body. And Electrosport helps with all of that too. So I just love that stuff. So thank you guys for sharing the way you did. I guess it's my turn now. Spinach Iron Essential Blend, folks. Another new product. It's going to be released. Hold on, let me get to my notes. On the 4th of August, which I believe is the Founders Tour date for Tennessee, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, August 4th is a projected release date. And, it's interesting. I wasn't aware of how much need there was for a product like this, and didn't realize until I started doing a little research that here in the United States, about 10 million people are estimated to have an iron deficiency. On a global basis, we're talking about 2 billion people, okay? So certainly there's a market and a need for this type of thing. And what's so impressive, and I can't remember, Cheryl or Finn, whichever one you mentioned it was, again, it comes back to formulation when I look at this, because one of our principles of the philosophy of regeneration, of course, is expertise in formulation. And that expertise is one of the things that allows Sunrider, in my opinion, to produce a product like this that can be effective and more so easily assimilated in the body. And again, without that expertise in formulation, I don't think we would have a product like this. So I really have to take my hat off to the Chins for creating something like this that will deliver the iron that people need, but also they formulate it in a way where it will really be easy on the stomach. So enough of that said. Cheryl, Finn, can't remember which one were you going to jump in first on this one. My bad. So please pick it up from there.
Well, you did a pretty good job covering it, Mac.
Oh, figures.
I would just like to say that once again, it's very convenient. So it's very easy to travel with. It tastes really good. And I was one in the past that used to take iron supplements, and it sure was hard on the body. Oftentimes I felt nauseated or just not well. So what's the point? But this is just like you're just having your vegetables in a glass. So it tastes yummy and it's good for you and high in vitamin A and C. And if Dr. Chen makes it, it's got to be the best.
I have nothing else to add, you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Man.
well,
Ditto, ditto, ditto. Yeah.
I have a couple questions, and if you guys don't mind, having not tried this yet, I'm just curious, the taste, did you guys blend it in water or what have you been mixing it in, first of all? Yeah. Do you taste spinach or anything? I mean, what is the flavor like?
It's citrusy, wouldn't you say, Cheryl?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's very sweet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
actually, we don't have sunny dew up here
Uh-huh.
in Canada. So I've been mixing it with my fortune so that I have something sweet to add with my fortune. So it's been nice to have. Yeah, it's quite sweet. And of course, he uses it's sweetened with stevia.
Stevia.
Absolutely. Excellent. Cool. By chance, and I don't mean to be putting you guys on the spot, but do either one of you know how many like milligrams of iron are delivered in a spot, an amount?
They didn't give us that information. And of
I'm
course
sure that'll be coming out on the
couldn't read
product
the
fact
label.
sheets and all of that kind of stuff too. And
Yeah.
knowing Sunrider, it'll be the perfect amount. So we'll leave
Yeah.
it at that. Judy, next one's back to you.
Well, hey, everyone's heard the word serum by now. It's another buzzword for a while, just like collagen has been. However, thanks to Sunrider, we all know that anything we put on our skin, we better want inside because it's in the bloodstream within seconds. And serum is designed to go deeper and to do more. So we certainly want to know what we're putting on. So I'm thrilled with this. I've heard wonderful things about it. And so my big questions are, how should we use it? What's the timing of when you put it on? Obviously a clean face, but is it before, after moisturizer, that kind of thing? And also the biggest question on my mind is when can we have it? But I think it's already been answered. And that's going to be available and released at the same time as our collagen, is what I've heard. So I hope that's the case. And Cheryl, can you answer some of these questions for us?
I surely will. First of all, I want to say that one of my favorite parts at convention was when Dr. Chen talked about these products because of how he talked about skincare. And when he said, I know how to do skincare. And he talked about his past and how he used to advise and skincare companies and do things like that. And he said, I'm 70, I think he said 73, and no wrinkles. I have no wrinkles. I have baggy eyes and I have saggy skin, but I have no wrinkles because I know skin. And he said that most skincare products on the market are just oil and water. And he said our skincare products are total nutrition. And so with the serums, they're designed to be like, I don't know if you would call it the carrier or what, but you put it on first after you wash your face, right? So the daytime one you put on your skin, and I put it on my whole face and my neck, and then you put your creams on. Well, the creams and the moisture in the creams activate these serums. right? And the serums are there to protect our skin from the environmental elements and, of course, diminish wrinkles and lines. And they have peptides, so it enhances the firmness of the skin. And it's formulated in a way to protect the skin. And he made it so that we have one for the morning and one at night. And it's the same procedure. So at night, you'd wash your skin, you would put on the nighttime serum, and then you put your skincare on top. And we don't have all the details, but what I get from it is the daytime one is more protection, and the nighttime one is more to get the ingredients deeper into the skin. That's what I get out of it. What about you, Finn?
Yeah, I love taking the Candescent training at convention. That was such an awesome way to learn more about, these individual products and how to use them. And yeah, I was really surprised. I always thought, that the specialty creams and the serums and that kind of thing go on last, but nope, you put the serum on first, then you put on whatever specialty cream, and then you put on, for example, the K-Pure gel, hydrating gel, or the Oil-In Deep Moisture Lotion to lock in the moisture. So, of course, these products have hyaluronic acid and which are, again, buzzwords. These are things that are important, but and one thing that this has that I haven't heard many other companies utilize is the grapeseed extract. And this is um, helps with moisture retention. And so there's the active ingredient of polyglutamic acid, and that particular ingredient attracts water from the air, from the moisture of the skin, from the creams, but also from the air, and it locks it into the skin. And so this is where you're then get the plump look, like Dr. Chen, no wrinkles, because the skin is actually staying hydrated. So at night, the focus is on retaining that moisture, because it, of course, at nighttime is when our bodies is cleansing, it's expelling, and so it uses a lot of energies, and that energy is through moisture. So you can, if you don't use any kind of skincare regime at night, you wake up and your skin will be very, very dry, and you've gone 8 hours without drinking any liquid. So really important to have these kinds of serums to keep the skin hydrated, because when we're sleeping, that's a long period of time that we want to be able to keep it moisturized. So yeah, I love them both. Really excited to,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, I hope you're right, Judy, that they go on sale later today or at the latest Monday, because I want to order them too. And what a wonderful explanation. Thank you guys both very much for that. And Cheryl, I had to crack up when you were talking about Dr. Chin about she has the bags and the sag, but no wrinkles, which is
What
perfect.
he said.
So Kim, let's talk a little bit about what we might be able to do to get rid of some of those bags under the eyes.
That's me. It's all on me. The under eye mask. And what's nice, before this session, I just have to let you know, because I play tennis as my daily routine. And one of the things I like to do is to do a K-Pure session right after I play tennis. I've been sweating. I've been, out in the sun and the elements. And of course, you're exerting yourself. All your pores open up wide. And not that I have the greatest skin, but you know what? It helps me to look my best. And I really like the K-Pure products. And I've tried the mask. I didn't try it. I don't have one for today. But I've had a mask on in the past, and they're really good. I mean, they just complement everything along this line. So I'm looking forward to what the under eye mask has and what might be special about it. And ladies, can you fill us in a little bit about what is special about this product?
I can go first. Well, first of all, I love the fact, Tim, that you look after your skin, because that's not it's not a normal thing for guys to be encouraged to do. And the fact is that the skin is our largest organ and it covers the majority of our body. And another thing that I learned at the Candessen workshop is that Dr. Chen considers the skin the sixth element. And he actually has that sixth element, creates its own element. And that's how important he feels the skin is, not just for beauty, but for health. And so that's why he does focus so much on um, different skin products. Again, for sure to look good. When we look good, we feel good, but also just for the integrity of our health. And the only thing I'm going to say about the eye mask in itself is I love that if you don't have time or to do a whole face, or it's easier to travel with, and you just have these little eye masks, and they just fit underneath the eye, and they're just so handy. I was walking around convention because we had the demo tables, and I'm walking around. You can see people walking around with these eye masks under their eyes, and I felt the difference right away. Like I could just feel like, not that I have a lot of sagginess there, but it really did just smooth and lift, and I loved the way it felt on my skin. Cheryl, how about you?
Oh yeah, I love these. It's interesting because over the last couple months, I've been seeing a lot of this kind of thing on the ferry, and I was thinking, Dr. Chen needs to create something like this. And what's funny is, I think he created them for himself because he was talking about his baggy eyes, right? So anyway, I've been using them, and like you said, Finn, you notice a difference right away. So you don't notice they're on. They're not heavy. They're lightweight and very hydrating. And it actually, when you take it off, you see that you look less puffy. And because I do have puffy under my eyes, and your eyes look brighter, like not that dark, because sometimes I get dark under the eyes. So, and very hydrated. Like they're awesome. So I'm excited that we're going to have them. Mhm.
Fantastic. Like Dr. Chin, I've got some things happening here too, so I'm very excited about this product being released and can't wait to try it. And Cheryl, you and Finn shared so many wonderful pictures from convention, but I don't remember seeing one of you guys walking around the convention hall with these eye bags or these under eye mask things on. So maybe you might want to share those later with us or something, huh?
I missed that.
There
We
you go. Hey, last but not least, the last product we want to share with you today is our Ease Relaxation Essential Oil Blend. And I mean, we talked earlier, the first product I was ever introduced to from Sunrider was Sunbreeze oil that we're all very familiar with. And this is going to be the next essential oil coming out for Sunrider. And, you know, um, essential oils, of course, have been used for centuries for their therapeutic properties, most commonly in things like, aromatherapy and stuff like I've got going on behind me right here, right now. And so many reasons. I mean, for physical, mental, emotional well-being, pain relief, mood enhancement, sleep aid, and interestingly enough, stress reduction, which is what Ease Relaxation Essential Oil is all about. So there's a lead in, ladies. Take it from there, please. Tell us about this.
Well, I'm absolutely loving it. I have it in my diffuser, but it's also really great to put like on your wrists. I oftentimes like to do this if I'm wearing some kind of oil on my, and it's just so calming. And before I go to bed at night, I put it under my nose as well. So if you're having a stressful day and you want something really quick because it's a small little vial, you can carry it with you. Just put a bit under your nose, behind your ears, in your temples, and you'll just be this walking essence, and everybody around you will be nice and calm, just like you. Finn?
Yeah, I have to say, I was really surprised when they announced this at convention. I'm like, what? Something other than Sunbreeze? How dare they? Right? But oh my gosh, as soon as you smell it, you're like, oh, it is what a couple of things that I absolutely love. First of all, Yes, this is a calming formula. So typically, a lot of companies, when they make a calming formula, the base ingredient is what? Lavender. And
Mhm.
not that I have anything against lavender, but I'm just tired of it, to be honest. And so when I smelled this, it was like there's no lavender. He uses clary sage as a base, and I love clary sage, not only for the smell, but again, for the health benefits. It's mood boosting, it's calming, and it also helps balance hormones. So it's just a wonderful base, and then it has some bergamot, it has lime oil, has rose oil. So it is a very unique scent. It is nothing like I've ever smelt, and I get essential oils to put in my diffuser from other companies, but this is a very unique. You could wear it like a scent. Like it is beautiful. If you don't wear perfume, but you want to, you can wear it like that. It is beautiful. And like Cheryl said, I love putting a little bit, in my palms or under my nose before I fall asleep because it just smells so yummy and it's just so calming. So I'm really excited. Again, it just expands our base because there's people out there that are really into essential oils, and now we have some, another one to offer them, and it's, I can't wait for you guys to smell it because you will absolutely love it.
Can't wait as well. I know this is one of the exciting ones for me too. Projected release date along with the under eye mask is up in Seattle actually next Saturday at the Sunrider Founders Day, which I'm so happy I'm going to be at. Cheryl, I think I'll see you there, right? So that'll be fun. So that'll be cool. Hey, you guys, first of all, thank you all. Judy, Tim for the lead-in expertise, Cheryl and Finn for sharing so well around your experiences with these products coming out of convention. You've had a chance to try them and really appreciate the kind of heads up on all of this stuff before we're able to get it now. And I guess again, to our audience, I just want to thank everybody for joining us. It's been fun sharing with you as we always do. And over these next several weeks of summer, we will be providing some more training and calls for you. So please stay tuned. And if you're not part of our 5-Element Cycle to Wellness Facebook group, please, send us a note, let us know. We'll get you an invitation. Would love to have you join us and participate in this conversation each season that we have. So again, panel, any last comments for anybody? Just happy Sunrider Day, everybody,
Sunrider
right?
Day, everybody.
Okay. Hey, thanks, everybody. We've sure had fun sharing with you, and we can't wait till we come back and do it again. So happy Sunrider Day.